Nowadays, people can do almost anything with their smartphone. They even read books or magazines on their phone. It is convenient to read on your phone, but it is certainly bad for your eyes. I sit in front of the computer for almost 8 hours a day, so I don't want to look at another screen to read. That's why I prefer reading books to reading on my phone. I like going to bookstores. I can read books on my smartphone, but I don't usually like to because I love reading books at the bookstore. So when I have time, I just go to the bookstore and pick up some books, even though there's nothing particular to buy. I like reading books at the bookstore, but I always buy them online because they are much cheaper. I personally prefer reading books because I like the texture of paper, so I often go to bookstores and just look around the store. When I have time, I just pick up a book and stand there and read until I finish it. When I went to the bookstore yesterday, some good books were on sale. The bookstore members could receive up to 50% off, so I got 5 books. This is another reason to go to bookstores.
자, 이런 식으로 한국어 문장을 보지 않더라도 영어 문장이 그냥 바로바로 나오게 됩니다. 제가 이 암기된 영어 문장을 말할 때 한국어로 생각하고 말을 할까요? 영어 문장을 번역을 할까요? 아니면 영어 문장을 머릿속에서 막 만들어낼까요? 그 영어 문장이 그냥 입 밖으로 자연스럽게 무의식적으로 나오게 됩니다. 자, 이번 영상에서는 제가 영어회화책을 입으로 통암기할 수 있는 가장 쉽고 빠른 방법에 대해서 전부 다 알려드리도록 하겠습니다. 그래서 제가 통암기한 책은 바로 이 책입니다. 이 스피킹 매트릭스 책은 제가 그동안 영어 공부를 해오면서 정말 가장 열심히 봤다고 자신있게 말씀드릴 수 있는 책입니다. 그래서 제가 광고를 받았고요. 항상 이 스피킹 매트릭스 1분, 2분, 3분 이 책을 암기하는 것이 목표 중에 하나였어요. 제가 이 책을 통암기하고 싶었던 이유는 책 안에 들어있는 내용이 굉장히 좋았기 때문입니다. 예를 들어서 제가 항상 영어 공부에 갈증을 느꼈던 내가 하고자 하는 말, 필요한 문장들, 그리고 내 의견을 좀 자유롭게 말할 수 있는 그런 문장들을 어떻게 내가 학습하고 배울 수 있을까에 대한 갈증을 오랜 시간 동안 굉장히 많이 이겼는데 그런 부분들을 해결해 줄 수 있는 책이 바로 이 책이 적합하지 않나라는 생각이 들어서 제가 아침에 공원에 나가서 차에서 이 책을 정말 열심히 공부를 했었습니다.
I don't like going shopping with my girlfriends because, it takes forever. And Kim is thinking of changing jobs, but she's not sure what she wants to do. Her boss is usually a good person, but it really depends on his mood.
그래서 이 책만 암기를 하면 내 생각이나 의견을 조금 더 자유롭게 표현할 수 있을 거라는 생각이 들었기 때문에 이 책을 암기를 하려고 했는데 일단 이 3분 영어 말하기 책을 기준으로 말씀드리면 앞부분에는 인풋으로 구성되어 있고 뒤쪽 부분에는 아웃풋이 구성되어 있습니다. 그래서 이 아웃풋은 총 30가지의 주제에 관한 3가지 답변들, 총 90가지의 답변이 담겨져 있습니다. 이 책뿐만 아니라 mp3 파일도 굉장히 구성이 잘 되어 있어서 이 mp3 파일을 자주 들어줬는데요. 제가 예전에 공원에 나가서 아침마다 차에서 이 책을 공부를 할 때 이 책을 암기를 하기 위해서 낭독과 쉐도잉을 했었습니다. 그래서 차에서 mp3 파일을 틀어놓고 소리 내서 듣고 따라 말하고 그러니까 낭독과 쉐도잉에 포커스를 맞춰서 이 영어 책을 공부를 했었습니다. 그런데 암기라는 게 통암기라는 게 솔직히 많은 영어 공부에 관련된 영어 학습법에 관한 서적들에서 책 한 권을 통암기를 해라. 책 한 권을 통암기를 하면 영어 회화 실력이 굉장히 많이 늘게 될 것이다. 그런 말들을 많이 들어보셨을 거예요. 저도 그렇게 생각을 했고 그래서 실제로 저는 이 3분 영어 말하기 책보다 1분, 2분 영어 말하기 책을 좀 더 중점적으로 공부를 했었는데요. 왜냐하면 그 당시에는 이 3분 영어 말하기 책이 조금 어렵게 느껴졌었어요. 그래서 1분 영어 말하기를 빨리 끝내고 2분 영어 말하기를 스터디 카페에서 정말 공부를 열심히 했던 기억이 납니다. 이 책은 학습자들을 정말 생각을 해서 만드신 티가 나는 게 그냥 단순하게 한국어 문장, 영어 문장 이렇게 되어 있는 게 아니고 보시면은 이 아웃풋 훈련을 할 때도 스텝 1, 스텝 2, 스텝 3, 스텝 4가 있습니다. 그래서 저는 어떤 식으로 공부를 했냐면 우선은 스텝 1에는 한국어가 나와 있어요. 그래서 이 한국어 문장을 보면서 내용을 전반적으로 이해를 해줍니다. 그리고 나서 스텝 2에 나와 있는 영어 문장을 한번 읽어보는 거예요. 그래서 내가 영어 문장을 읽고 내가 이해가 안 될 때는 왼쪽에 나와 있는 한국어 문장을 보면서 영어 문장을 전반적으로 이해하는 과정을 먼저 거쳐주세요. 그리고 두 번째로는 저는 이 영어 문장을 제가 스스로 한국어를 바꿔보는 훈련을 했습니다. 그래서 공책에 이 모든 영어 문장의 저만의 한국어 버전을 만들었습니다. 이 책은 듣기, 말하기, 읽기, 쓰기 이 4가지 영역을 정말 골고루 학습할 수 있는 책이고요. 제가 말할 수 있는 부분은 제가 영어로 쓸 수 있다. 그리고 다양한 주제의 스토리를 가지고 있기 때문에 이 영어 책을 암기를 했을 때 다양한 문장의 인풋과 아웃풋을 만들어낼 수 있기 때문에 특히나 초보자분들이 쉐도잉과 낭독으로만 영어 공부를 하면서 영어가 늘지 않는다고 느낀다면 제가 지금부터 보여드릴 이 학습법을 꼭 한번 적용해 보시는 걸 추천드리겠습니다. 그리고 시중에 나와 있는 책들 중에서 이렇게 내가 인풋과 아웃풋을 훈련할 수 있게 구성되어진 책이 흔치가 않아요. 그래서 이 책에서는 총 4가지의 단계로 나눠져 있어서 이 스피킹 훈련을 하는데 굉장히 적합한 책이라고 보실 수 있습니다. 영어 문장을 이해하지 못하는데 내가 그 영어 문장을 반복해서 듣고 따라 말하는 훈련은 저에게는 효과가 없었어요. 그래서 저는 영어 공부를 오랫동안 공부를 했지만 영어 자막을 틀어놓고 봤을 때 그 영어 자막을 이해할 수 있는 실력조차 되지 못했습니다. 솔직히 말씀드리면. 그래서 더더욱 시간이 오래 걸렸던 것 같고 정말 사람들이 영포자 하지만 제가 정말 진짜 영포자였거든요. 그래서 마침내 이 영상을 통해서 영어회화책을 통암기를 했고요. 그리고 제가 1분 영어 말하기, 2분 영어 말하기가 아닌 3분 영어 말하기를 제가 선택한 이유도 제가 1분, 2분 영어 말하기는 과거에 공부를 열심히 했었고 저에게도 단순한 광고 영상이 아닌 제가 정말 그동안 외우고 싶었던 그런 책을 암기를 하는 그런 도전적인 영상을 만들고 싶었습니다. 그래서 비교적 굉장히 시간이 많이 오래 걸렸는데요. 그럼 이제 제가 어떻게 통암기를 했는지 보여드리도록 하겠습니다. 제가 발견한 이 학습법을 영어 회화책뿐만 아니고 어떤 영어 문장 암기에 적용을 하셔도 그 어떤 어렵고 긴 문장이라도 쉽게 암기를 하실 수 있으실 거예요. 한국어를 통해서 영어 문장을 이해하고 그리고 이해된 문장을 내가 반복해서 들어주고 그리고 세 번째 과정이 정말 중요한데 한국어 문장을 보면서 영어 문장을 반복적으로 떠올리는 훈련입니다. 자, 이 훈련이 포인트예요. 우리가 영어 단어를 암기를 할 때 초보자분들이 영어 단어만 보고 영어 단어를 암기를 할 수는 없을 거예요. 이게 제가 처음 구매했던 영어원서 책인데 이 책도 마찬가지로 어떤 분이 통암기를 하셨다고 해서 제가 정말 읽지도 못하고 이해하지도 못하는 이 영어원서를 정말 통암기를 하려고 항상 시도를 할 때마다 실패를 했던 기억이 납니다. 그 이유는 제가 초보자였음에도 불구하고 영어를 영어로만 받아들이려고 했기 때문에 이해 가능한 인풋을 만들기가 굉장히 어려웠습니다. 그래서 제가 초보자일수록 영어 회화책을 추천드리는 이유는 영어 회화책에는 다양한 주제에 관련된 기초적이고 활용 가능한 문장들이 내가 이해할 수 있게끔 한국어로 설명이 되어 있기 때문에 이해 가능한 인풋을 효율적으로 만들어낼 수가 있습니다. 그리고 또 한 가지 제가 이 책을 암기를 하면서 느낀 점은 여기에 나와 있는 한국어 문장이 굉장히 매끄럽고 의역이 적어서 영어 문장을 이해하고 받아들이기가 비교적 굉장히 쉽다는 건데요. 저는 제가 스스로 영어 문장을 제가 자기화를 해보고 자기화된 문장을 보면서 영어 문장을 떠올리는, 말해보는, 써보는 훈련을 하고 난 뒤에 이제 비로소 영어 문장이 암기가 되고 머릿속에 기억으로 남았을 때 여기 이 책에 나와 있는 한국어 해석, 한국어 문장만 보더라도 영어가 저절로 입 밖으로 튀어나오고 글로 써지는 경험을 실제로 했습니다. 한국어를 떨어뜨리고 한국어라는 보조바퀴를 떨어뜨리고 영어 문장을 비로소 영어를 영어로 받아들일 수 있게 되는 모든 과정을 보여드리도록 하겠습니다. 한국어 문장으로 영어 문장을 통암기를 했을 때 과연 어떤 일이 벌어지게 될까요? 이 한국어 문장이 가지고 있는 내용이 머릿속에 박혀요. 그러니까 우리가 영어 문장을 떠올릴 수 없는 이유는 그 내용이 머릿속에 들어오지 않아서거든요. 그래서 이 한국어 문장을 보면서 영어 문장을 말하는 그런 훈련을 했을 때 무의식적으로 한국어를 보지 않더라도 영어 문장이 점점 입 밖으로 나오게 되더라고요. 영어 회화책을 입으로 통암기했을 때 과연 어떤 일이 발생하게 될까요?
To the city streets, we began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals they take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night. From the top, we're gonna be two hearts running wild.
Nowadays, people can do almost anything with their smartphone. They even read books or magazines on their phone. It is convenient to read on their phone, but it is certainly bad for your eyes. I sit in front of the computer for almost 8 hours a day, so I don't want to look at another screen to read. That's why I prefer reading books to reading on my phone. I like going to bookstores. I can read books on my smartphone, but I don't usually like to because I love reading books at the bookstore. So when I have time, I just go to the bookstore and pick up some books, even though there's nothing in particular to buy. I like reading books at the bookstore, but I always buy them online because they are much cheaper. I personally prefer reading books because I like the texture of paper, so I often go to bookstores and just look around the store. When I have time, I just pick up a book and stand there and read until I finish it. When I went to the bookstore yesterday, some good books were on sale. The bookstore members could receive up to 50% off, so I got 5 books. This is another reason to go to bookstores. There's a water purifier in my office, but I feel like bottled water is more cleaner than water from the water purifier. So I just buy a convenience store and buy one pack on my way to work. I like to buy bottled water at a convenience store because I get to have many options to choose from. So nowadays, I like to drink fruit or herb flavored mineral water. I think it is a refreshing and a healthier alternative to sugary sodas. There are many different types of bottled water, such as vitamin water, diet water, hangover water. I'm not sure if they really works, but since they have many different flavors and benefits, it makes me want to drink one whenever I feel like I need it. There's a convenience store right next to my office building, so I always stop there to buy bottled water. You know, I personally prefer drinking bottled water because I don't want to wash glasses every time I drink water, so I just stop by a convenience store and get bottled water. However, it is true that bottled water can be quite pricey. So I used to drink tap water to save money. And furthermore, the city said it was safe to drink tap water. However, it didn't taste good, so I started to drink bottled water again. Koreans love to drink coffee. Drinking coffee has become a habit for a lot of people. So they drink coffee in the morning, after lunch, and whenever they feel like it. You know, in Korea, there are coffee shops at almost every corner of the city, so it's really easy to drink. And also, caffeine can be very addictive, so there are many coffee addicts around me. When you are at a coffee shop, it feels good because it's cool in the summer and warm in the winter, and the chairs are very comfortable to sit on, so it's really good to grab a drink and chat for a bit. I sometimes spend hours sitting in a coffee shop, drinking coffee and chatting with my friends. I think this is why people like going to new coffee shops, and there are so many of them in the city. You know, people often believe that starting a coffee shop business is simple since there are so many successful coffee shops around, so people think they can do the same. However, there's strong competition among coffee shops and making a profit is never easy. You know, people like going to new coffee shops. The problem is that new coffee shops are constantly opening. I'm close to my sister. She's 3 years older than me, so when we were in middle school and high school, we barely talked because she thought I was too young for her. But now we are getting older together and we're more like friends. We talk about everything like clothes, food, boyfriends. You know, I love talking to my sister. We share a bedroom, so we usually talk before going to bed. When I was young, I used to talk to my mom about everything. I would tell her about my friends, my school life, just about everything. It was fun talking to her. However, as I got older, I kind of stopped talking to her. I don't know why, but I just don't talk to her that much. Sometimes I feel like she doesn't understand me anymore. Actually, there's no time to sit down and have a conversation with my family members. I'm very close to my parents, so I just talk to them about everything. So when I was applying for a job, I had conversations with my dad every single night. And my dad gave me good advice on how to find a good job that would suit me. And I would also talk to my mom, I would also often talk to my mom, and she always just gives me this positive energy, so talking to her always makes me feel good. I like movies better than books because movies are more visually appealing. Special effects can help the people see something better than they imagined in the first place. So for example, there could be a car crash in a book, and you could only imagine one car crash into another, but in a movie, you could see one car crash into another and blow up. And this just looks and sounds more exciting. Special effects help the imagination grow. Novels help me create my own image of the characters and setting and the way things are going through the story. But I must admit that whenever the novel that I have read was turned into a movie, I got disappointed because it failed to meet my expectations, or it was different from the way I imagined the story. A perfect example is the Twilight series. Books are usually better because they're written first. Movies leave out so many details the books have. So, the movie makers can possibly put everything in it because that would take too long. So they do what they must do. And I'm not usually disappointed because I don't expect the movie to be better. I think determination and persistence are the keys to success. So I don't ever give up and keep going with staying power, no matter how much I'm tempted to just give up. The achievable goals in life are generally well defined, so I try to know exactly what I want and stick to it. I'm also willing to go the extra mile to accomplish my goals. The first thing to do when setting goals is to make them doable. So I try to look at past of people I admire, and I try to find, practical steps. So for example, my role model is this famous pianist, and she said in her interview that she has put in 14 hours of practice and training every day for dozens of years. I'm not trying to be a pianist, but I've learned so much from her success. So whenever I want to give up, I think of her and I try to do my best. I write my goals down. I put them on a piece of paper or a note card and take it to a place where I look at every morning when I wake up and every night when I go to bed. And I always believe that I can do it because the minute I say I can't, it's over it really is over. And at the same time, I never say I could have done better. I always believe that my performance was the best I could have given. I know eating small portions of food and exercising regularly are the most important thing to lose weight, but I have no motivation to exercise and I just keep feeling like I just want to eat and eat. I can't control my hunger and I ended up eating instant noodles late at night. I think I seriously need to give myself a motivation to lose weight. I think the reason why I can succeed in lose weight is because I'm too hard on myself when I'm on a diet. So for example, I love eating fast food and sweets, but when I decide to lose weight, all of a sudden I switch it to a diet only based on fruit or vegetables, and my body finds it hard to adapt. You know, I end up spoiling myself every once in a while throughout the diet by eating KFC chicken. So if I really want to lose weight, the first thing I should do is quit eating fast food. I once tried a vinegar diet. I drank a certain amount of vinegar and, needless to say, it didn't work and I didn't lose any weight. I wanted to lose weight in the short term and I couldn't think beyond getting those 10 pounds off. So I realized that if I really want to lose weight and keep it up in the long term, I should eat a healthy diet that is sustainable for the rest of my life. So I think money is the most important thing in order to achieve your dreams. Without money, you can study what you want, nor have the type of experiences you desire. You need money to go to a language center or to travel abroad. But many people just give up because they can afford it. People who are better off financially are more likely to be able to do what they want to do compared to people who are not. It is not always true, but self-made people are becoming rare. You can have dreams and invest in your dreams only when you can afford to. It's really important to find out what type of occupation you really want. Many people just don't think about what they want and they just try to fit in with the society by getting a good job as defined by society. I think it is a serious problem in our country that a lot of people, choose their major, college, even career based on what society says. I think this is very wrong. Whatever you can dream of, you can achieve. People should begin to live their dreams, and this must be realized first. Networking with other people is very important. You need to be connected with people who can help you make your dreams come true. No matter how hardworking or intelligent you are, when you take on too many duties, you are limited. It's important to get help from people around you. Your abilities are confined and you need professional assistance in various fields. I think this is why people who look down on others and neglect others' abilities are more likely to fail. When it comes to becoming a successful person, your biggest asset is your personal connection. When I have problems that I need help with, I tend to go to the bookstore in my neighborhood and I search for books on the issue and read. And I used to read a lot. When I read a book, great ideas come to me. I think I get more imaginative from reading books, so therefore I usually read books to think out of the box in order to solve problems. When I'm in big trouble, I usually talk to my friends. What others say about my problem is not always right, but I can at least think broadly and view my problem from a different perspective. So it is also good to talk to my friends because chatting with them releases my stress as well. I exercise. When I'm tired and stressed, I tend to think negatively and view my problem from a narrow perspective. But when I exercise, I get to forget about my worries and focus on my workout. I love running, playing basketball and so on. So after I work out hard and sweat it off, I feel refreshed. And then I'm also able to view my problem differently and I feel positive. I know that managing my time effectively helps me get more done each day. Also, by managing my time more wisely, I can minimize stress and improve my quality of life. I block out the time on my calendar for big projects, so during that time, I close my door and turn off my phone and email. I think it's important to have a healthy lifestyle. So I try to get plenty of sleep and eat a healthy diet and exercise regularly. I think a healthy lifestyle can improve my concentration, so it helps improve my efficiency so I can complete my work in less time. I make a to-do list. I prioritize my tasks and spend my time and energy on those that are truly important to me. So I also write down everything I will do for the following 3 days to determine how to best spend my time. I also look for the time that can be used more wisely. So for example, I usually take a bus to work and I use the commute to catch up on reading. I started to drive a few years ago. I got so tired of taking the subway, so I decided to buy a car. However, the rush hour traffic jam in the city is crazy. So I used to leave home at 8 in the morning, but now I leave at 7 because of the traffic. So when I'm really tired, I just sleep an hour more and take the subway. I don't like to sit in my car during a traffic, so it's actually better to get some more sleep and take the subway. I always take the bus to go to school, but I usually take my car when I go downtown for dinner. However, when I go downtown, it's hard to find a parking lot. There are some, but they're very expensive. Some restaurants provide valet parking services, but I have to pay for them as well. I'm already going broke from the gas prices, so I don't usually take my car that often. When the roads are packed, it takes a lot more time to drive than to take the subway, so I usually use public transportation to get around. However, when I see the crowd, at a subway station in the morning rush hour, I regret that I didn't take my car. So when I'm in a hurry, I usually take the subway, but when I have enough time, I tend to drive my own car. I'm a winter baby, so I love winter. I like being able to wake up at night and lie in bed and listening to the winter rain outside. And I also love to curl up on the couch with a good book when it's freezing cold outside. My favorite sport is also a winter sport, so it makes me love winter even more. I like summer because it's hot and full of fun and has long days. And you can go swimming, and I love the beach. So you don't have to worry about putting on many layers of clothes. You can just wear a shorts and a tank top with some flip-flops. So I like summer a lot better than winter. I don't like summer. There's nothing worse than getting off from work at 7 a.m. and scraping the ice off your car window and having to sit in your freezing car and wait for it to warm up. I can't stand that. As you can imagine, most of my week or personal days are used in the winter because just sometimes it's just too cold to leave the house. So when I pick a movie, I first check the weekend office box first, and it tells how much movie earned over the weekend. So when the movie The Da Vinci Code came out, it made more than $30 million in just the US alone in its opening weekend. So I went to see that in the 4th week of release, and it was still doing okay. However, X-Men 3 came out and it knocked it off the top spot. I think the movie did better than it should have, but not as good as the producers had hoped. So when a new movie comes out, I first check who made that movie and who's in it. I have my favorite actors and actresses and directors, so when my favorite actor stars in the movie or my favorite director makes the movie, I go see it, regardless of its reviews or box office rank. I love watching action movies. I have watched my favorite action movies over and over again, so when a new action movie comes out, I go see it. So I sometimes pick a movie that has great reviews. So last weekend, I went to see the movie which had good reviews, but it was very disappointing. I will not pick a movie by reviews anymore. I think sometimes we get disappointed at our loved ones because we expect so much from them. Not because we are demanding, but because we know we would do those exact same things for them. So for example, when my best friend lied to me, I got so disappointed in her. I would never lie to her. She broke my heart and we're not friends anymore. I'm a person who loves and trusts everybody. So it's very easy to get very hurt when I find out that there were flaws. So the thing that gets me upset is that they still try to keep in contact with me and act like I have not realized they show their true nature. But I love people, so I will keep trusting them. This question reminds me of one of my friends from high school. So I was always there for her when she needed a shoulder to cry on. However, she would come up with the lamest excuses not to get together with us. She lied frequently and I decided to write her off. I've been working on eating healthier. I'm not fully there yet because I don't want to give up on the yummy foods that are out there. I read somewhere that it takes about 3 or 4 months to get a new habit to stick, as long as you keep making an effort to get back on track anytime you deviate from your plan. So when I was a student, my parents literally dragged me out of bed every morning. But after I started to work, I had to adapt my body clock to waking up at a particular time. At first, it was really hard because I was a late riser all my life, but now I have a regular bedtime and I feel comfortable waking up early. I write everything down. I write down my to-dos, my grocery list, house chores I want to tackle, blog posts I want to write, goals I want to reach, dates I need to remember, etc. It is not that I'm forgetful, it's just that I have so many things to remember on a daily basis that if I write them down, my brain is instantly free to stop thinking about it, which means I can move on to bigger and better things. I think the biggest weakness of online shopping is that I can't see the product until receiving it. Since you can see it, you're not sure it will look good on you, and the color and size could be different from what you saw on the screen. I was disappointed several times, so I don't buy things online anymore. So the product could be different from what you saw on the screen. So for example, if I'm buying clothes, they may not look good on me. Therefore, I like online shopping for things, but when I have to buy clothes or shoes, I make sure to go to the shop and try them on. If I like it, I will get all of the details and write them down and go back to my house and order it online for a cheaper price. I don't like online shopping because I don't feel safe buying something online. When I have to buy something, I make sure that is a good website and there are no leaks on the website. Also, I don't get the product right away. It takes at least a couple of days to get it. and sometimes over a week. I have to wait longer to get it unless I pay more. I often find myself checking Facebook several times a day. Even worse is when I plan on quickly checking updates and wind up perusing people's photos and status. It is not that I intend to spend hours on my day on social networking sites, but one thing leads to another, and before I realize, an hour or two has gone by. I think I get so impatient when waiting, so I can't even wait for 30 seconds to download a video clip. So I think we are so used to getting everything that we want instantaneously that if we have to wait a little bit, we get irritated. Since smartphones have such a small screen, I tend to hold my phone too close to my eyes. So staring at my smartphone for 30 minutes causes my eyes to strain. So I try to rest my eyes every 10 minutes when I read cartoons or videos. And I recently experienced dry eye, so I use eye drops and try to blink as often as I can. I started my new job 3 months ago. So we had many drinking parties and I liked them at first. But as time goes by, I feel tired and I just wanna stop going to those drinking parties. You know, I used to work at a place where we never had drinking parties, so I'm not used to this. I just want to quit drinking and stop going to those drinking parties. Last weekend, I went to my high school reunion party. And it's been almost 10 years since I saw most of my former classmates, so I was very excited about it. So my high school sweetheart came, so we started to talk and drink for more than 5 hours. When the party was almost over, I was literally lying on the floor drunk. My dad used to drink like a fish. You know, and my mom hated it. So they often fought about it. And during one of my dad's regular health checkup, the doctor said my dad had developed fat in his liver. You know, fatty liver is not in itself a massive problem, but if he kept drinking, the chances of developing a more serious disease would go up. So my dad stopped drinking after the checkup. I love watching movies at home because I can sprawl out on my couch. I think movie theater seats are very uncomfortable and confined, and I also love eating. So I can just get up and go to the kitchen and go grab whatever I want, rather than pay for overpriced food at a cinema. Plus, if you miss an important part while you're getting food in the kitchen, you can go rewind it. Or before you go to the kitchen, you can pause the movie, and when you come back, you can resume the movie. I also love buying a DVD movie in order to watch it whenever I want. I believe there's nothing better than spreading yourself out on the couch with a loved one and a nice big bowl of popcorn and watching a movie at night. It seems so relaxing. I love watching movies at home because I can choose what I want to watch, with whom I want to watch it, and when I want to watch it, and so on. Plus, I can pause, rewind, or skip any section. I have a 42-inch LCD TV in a home theater, so it's comfortable sitting on my sofa or lying in my bed with pillows. I don't need to bother going to the dirty and crowded theaters with uncomfortable seats. When I'm really tired, I drink some caffeinated beverages. I think caffeine definitely works, but only for half an hour. This immediate caffeine buzz wakes me up and makes me think that I'm fine. However, when I really need caffeine to function, I take it in gradually rather than knocking back a double shot espresso. I also try to space out a few mugs of weak tea or weaker coffee so that I don't get high and low mood swings. When I feel exhausted, I try to take a 20 to 30 minute nap. I don't take it longer because I would find myself awake feeling even more groggy than I did before. I think a nap can really restore me and get me going again. When it is not easy to take a nap because of my boss, I use my lunch hour or a scheduled break to nap. When my eyes are tired from staring at a computer screen, I try to do some exercise. And when I do it, I can feel the tiredness fading. Frequent short walks, help me stay awake. And I don't have to go to the gym for an intense workout. I usually take a 5 to 10 minute break to walk around once an hour. I think eating less is the most important key to diet success. So I used to eat out up to 9 times a week. By just cutting back to just once a week and ordering a grilled chicken salad instead of a large bowl of pasta, I lost 20 pounds in 1 month. I still try to eat less and watch what I eat. I try to have a healthy diet. I used to skip breakfast, but I never go without it. I always eat about 300 calories of a healthy mixed protein and whole grains. My go-to meal is a sandwich with some natural peanut butter and apple butter. It keeps my hunger down, so I can snack less throughout the day. When I wanted to wear my skinny jeans again, I started running for 20 minutes after work. I always grab dinner after work with my colleagues, and it was usually deep fried chicken pieces, and then I changed things up. Instead of hanging around at night, I started walking and running around my neighborhood after work. When I have a fight with someone, I try to say that I'm sorry, but it is often hard to do so. So instead, I try to write an apology note. I think saying I'm sorry directly can be the best way to go, but a note can also be meaningful. This works well because I'm a bit shy person and I don't really appreciate confrontation. The first thing I do when I have a major blowout is to get some space. So when I do it, I get to see the situation from a more objective point of view, and then I realize what I did wrong. It takes me a day or two to do so. I don't take it longer because too much time would actually make the problem or argument worse. So I usually give the person time to think, and I also give myself time and space. I try to listen to what my friend says first, and then I bring up my own feelings. Sometimes when I hear my friend out, I don't even need to tell my side because just viewing things from a different perspective puts a new spin on our argument. I don't even feel the need to tell my side. I think money could make you happy to an extent, such as buying clothes or cars, jewelry, but when it comes down to it, the things that you want doesn't equal up to the things that you actually need, such as love and friendship. You can buy love or friends, so I don't think money can buy happiness. I don't think money can buy happiness, but it sure can relieve stress. So I was laid off, now worried about losing my car and my apartment. So I would be happier if I had some money now, but I don't have to be super rich. I don't have to be very rich. All I want is to be able to pay my bills and have a little fun sometimes. I know people with a lot of money, but they're not happier than I am. So I don't think money can buy happiness. I think money can buy happiness. You're not happy when you cannot solve money problems. Money helps you solve problems. Money also gives you freedom, so you don't have to work in a cubicle for 4 years. I think being able to do what I want when I want would make me happy. So I think money can buy happiness. When you go to a coffee shop, you can have high quality coffee. Most coffee shop franchises like Starbucks, Coffee Beans, and Tea Leaf purchase coffee from Colombia or any other countries like Brazil, Costa Rica, or Guatemala. Certainly, those coffees taste different from instant coffee. Plus, they're usually organic and have a rich and fuller aroma. Some people just love the taste of high quality coffee, so they pay a lot for it.